Hi guys, this is Cezary Zieniuk, and this video is about real estate investments in Batumi. We'll mention why it's good to invest in Batumi. We'll give you a couple of examples of which properties can be bought. We'll give you examples about prices, return on investments, occupancy rates, and all the other useful information. We'll also guide you through the process of registration of the property. How is it done? What documents are needed? If it can be done remotely, what kind of payment methods are available, and we'll guide you about the procedures and the timing. So let's start with the city Batumi. Batumi is the second largest city in Georgia. It's located on the Black Sea. So it's a seashore city with many beautiful areas along the beach. It has a beautiful stony and sandy coastline. It has a very long and nice promenade, I think lasting between 6 to 10 kilometers, which is starting from the old town and ending almost at the airport. So it's a great city with a lot of infrastructure, green areas, parks, bars, restaurants, and it has definitely everything which is needed for living. It's also attracting a lot of digital nomads and expats and foreigners. I believe maybe even half of the population in Batumi are foreigners from Turkey, Poland, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, etc. Batumi is a very specific city because as I said, it has different kind of people and it has different cultures. So there is a lot of mix of cultures and of people, which feels great. It feels international. About the location, Batumi is very well connected, both in terms of railway, for example, to Tbilisi. In terms of the road transport, you can easily travel to Kutaisi, where the international airport is located, to Tbilisi, which is the capital, where there is also an airport. It takes about 5 hours to get to Tbilisi by car, or also around 5 hours to take a train to Tbilisi. And about the flight connections, there is an international airport in Batumi, which also operates the budget airlines such as Ryanair. There is another airport in Kutaisi, which is just 2 hours drive to Batumi, and from Kutaisi there are plenty of flights to Europe. And there are a couple of budget airlines, including Wizz Air. And of course, there is an international airport, the biggest airport in Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia. So as you can see, it's very easy to get to Batumi, either from one of the major cities or even driving. You can drive from Armenia or from Turkey. As you see on the map, Batumi is literally a couple of minutes drive from Turkey. So this is the reason why many Turkish investors are investing in Batumi and in the hotel and in casino businesses. Now let me brief you about the prices of real estate in Batumi, as this is probably one of the most important things that you want to know. So the prices are much lower than in Tbilisi. In Batumi, you can buy an apartment even for $600 per square meter in a black frame condition, and we'll explain later what it means. So $600 for the new apartment located just 1 to 3 minutes walk from the sea in a new luxury building, and we will be showing you examples of that. There are also high-end properties with 5-star hotel brands, as well as projects such as hotel apartments. Not only you can buy a standard apartment for investment and rent it out on Airbnb and Booking, or you can use this apartment for living, but you can buy a ready-made investment product, which is a hotel apartment. So the hotel company, the hotel management company, manages the apartment for you, and you just get the income, and you come to Batumi to your hotel apartment whenever you want. So obviously, depending on the type of the property, the prices are different, but I would say that the average price per square meter for the black frame condition is approximately $1,000 per square meters. The cheapest developments might start from $600. The high-end developments, high-class developments, especially on the first line of the sea, might cost you about $2,000 to $3,000 per square meters. We are now in the development based next to the airport in the area called New Batumi. This is a new complex, and in this complex the apartments were starting from $1,200 per square meter. It was priced for turnkey apartments, so with ready furniture and appliances. And now we are going to show you a couple of other projects that this developer is having. So let's first see the infrastructure that this specific developer is providing. What distinguishes this developer from many others in Batumi is the infrastructure. In this complex, not only you have swimming pool, rooftop garden, and bunch of amazing infrastructure, but you also have a restaurant, you have a co-working space, cinema, and you'll see by yourself. So this is the restaurant. It's part of the complex, which means that the residents can enjoy Georgian cuisine on a daily basis. And over there you can see the playground outside area of the complex. One of the elements of the infrastructure of this complex is a co-working space. So the residents who bought the apartments here can use the space to work and enjoy peace and quiet of mind of working. So it's pretty amazing. Come and have a look. Guys, we are in the residential complex of ELT building, and this complex has a cinema room. A fully fledged cinema where all the residents can watch movies with their families and guests at any point of time, which is obviously amazing and which doesn't happen very often in Batumi. We are standing in front of the development, which is now completed. All the apartments are sold out, and 3 years ago, when it was in the phase of construction, the apartments were being sold for only $1,200 per square meters. And this is the price for a fully furnished apartment with all the appliances and furniture ready for the tenants or yourself to move in. So it's a turnkey condition for only $1,200. We are now in the 48 square meter apartment. This apartment was sold for $1,200 per square meters only in this condition, so fully furnished with all the TVs, appliances, furniture, etc. As you can see, there is a pretty nice living room with a view to the sea. As you can see, this development is based on the seafront with amazing sea view in Batumi. And over there you can see a new phase of the development where there are many apartments available for sale. And the starting price is only $1,400 for turnkey apartment with furniture, appliances, and everything ready to be moved in. And as you can see, that development over there is an integral part of this complex, but the location is much better because it's the first line from the sea. And already here the views are amazing, so I can only imagine how beautiful the views will be in that complex. We are in the middle of the promenade, just next to the sea, in the city center. I would like to show you the top developments in Batumi, and I would like to show you the international branded developments where you can buy the apartments. For example, here you can see a huge luxury development on the beach with the cooperation of Marriott Hotel. Over there you can see Courtyard by Marriott, and going more to this side, to the side of Old Batumi, you can see Hilton Hotel, Sheraton, Le Méridien, Radisson, etc. So what's important to know that most of these luxury hotel brands are offering hotel apartments to be purchased. So you can purchase a hotel apartment in one of these luxury complexes, for example in Marriott or in Hilton. And these apartments, these investments are very specific because you're not buying a standard apartment, you're buying a hotel apartment which is serviced by the hotel or its management company. An example, you are buying an apartment in this beautiful development of Hilton Hotel called Bellevue Residence. And the management company of Hilton can manage the apartment rentals on your behalf, so you don't have to do anything. You just buy a ready-made investment that works for you. And whenever you want, you can visit your apartment, stay in it, or rent it to your friends, rent it on Airbnb, booking.com, or simply give it to the management company so it rents it for you and you get the profit out of your apartment. We're in Batumi, on the beachfront, in the luxury development where 5-star hotel Marriott is located. We are on 47th floor in the beachfront apartment that has 50 square meters, and the price per square meter is only $2,200 per square meter. So this apartment costs approximately $110,000 for a black frame condition, which means that you have to include the renovation costs, furniture and appliances in addition. And as you can see now, the view is magnificent. It's on the first line of the beach in a luxury 5-star hotel complex under the brand Marriott, and it's definitely one of the top projects in the whole Georgia. We're again on 47th floor, and this is the corner apartment with the views to the sea and with the views to the new Batumi. It's a beautiful apartment, and as you know, the prices in this complex start from $2,200 per square meter. This apartment is slightly more expensive because it's on the corner, and it has a direct view to the beach, to the sea, but it's definitely one of the best apartments in the whole Batumi and with the most beautiful views you can ever see. We are now in Batumi, in the new also luxury development, which is on the third line from the sea, literally 100 meters from the seaside. We're in the studio at the moment, which is black frame, as you can see, and 2 months ago the price per square meter in this new building was only $650 per square meter. So an apartment of 30 square meters would cost you $19,500. At the moment, 2 months later, because of the high demand from Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Poland, etc., the price grew to almost $900 per square meter. So this apartment is already costing you $27,000. And this is the apartment with view to the inner side of Batumi. You can see part of the old town and internal part of the complex. In this building there are also apartments with the sea view to the other side of the building, and the prices over there are $200 more expensive. We are at the apartment with the view to the internal side of the complex and to the old Batumi. This building, as I mentioned before, it's located 100 meters from the sea, which is obviously very close. It's just next to Carrefour supermarket, the main stadium, and it's just on the border between Old Batumi and New Batumi. This is a studio, which could be also a one-bedroom apartment, which measures approximately 45 square meters, and the price per square meter a couple of months ago used to be $650 per square meter only. Now the price per square meter in this apartment on this side costs approximately $900 per square meter, which is still very beneficial. The renovation cost is also not expensive, since in Georgia the materials and the labor force is much cheaper than in Europe or in more developed countries. So it's definitely a great place for investment. Now about the return on investment. It's quite a difficult topic because it obviously depends on your marketing and on your efforts, how much you are promoting the property. But I could say that the average return on investment is approximately 9 to 10% per year. So, which means that if you buy an apartment, renovate it and rent it long-term or short-term, you can get your investment back in 10 years, which is obviously amazing because in most of the developed countries, the return ranges between 3 to 6%. So about the occupancy rates, as you know, Batumi is a seaside city. So most of the tourists and people are coming for the summer season, which is lasting approximately 5 months. But considering the location of the city and considering many business incentives that the country offers, and the gambling business and the winter resorts which are being developed in Adjara region, Batumi can be also considered as the whole year location. So there are things to do in the summer, winter, and in all the seasons. Especially if you consider that many expats, businessmen, digital nomads are moving to Georgia and to Batumi for living. So depending on the case, it can be considered as the all year round location. Now let's discuss the payment options. You're wondering, how can I pay for my property in Georgia? What is amazing is that there are many ways for financing your property. The first way is taking a mortgage in the bank, so taking a loan. Usually, in Georgia, you can pay only 30% down payment, and then the 70% can be financed by a Georgian bank. The process of getting the mortgage is very easy, even for non-residents and non-nationals. So, as an example, if the person from France, Germany, or Poland is coming to Georgia to buy a property, he just needs his passport, and that's it. There is no other compliance or requirements or checking the source of wealth or whatsoever. So just a passport and proof that you have already paid the relevant down payment, which is usually 30%, you can get the loan in literally 1 day. Other option for financing can be installments. Many of developers in Batumi offer the option of installments, which means that especially for the projects that are during the construction phase, you can go for an option of paying every month a relevant sum of money until the building is finished. So for example, you can buy a property, a studio for $1,000 per square meters, which is 30 square meters. So the total price of the apartment is 30,000. And if the project is, let's say, in the middle stage of construction and there is 1 year left for the project to be completed, you can get the options of installments of 12 months and you will be paying approximately almost $3,000 per month until the completion day of the project. So you don't need to have all the sum upfront. This is what I'm trying to say. Another way to finance your property is cryptocurrency. Yes, you can purchase the property in Batumi by cryptocurrency. There are two ways. Some of the developers, which is the minority case, they can accept payments in cryptocurrency. So you can agree that you pay for your apartment, for example, in Bitcoin. In the other cases where the developers have more, let's say, conservative, traditional approach, you can pay them in lari, but before that, you can convert your cryptocurrency into Georgian lari. We will explain more about this in the other videos, but just to give you a very brief information about the process, you can open the bank account in Georgia, a personal bank account. You can open a crypto wallet in Georgia, transfer your Bitcoin to a Georgian crypto wallet, and from the Georgian crypto wallet, cash your Bitcoin or other cryptocurrency to your personal account in Georgian lari. And you can obviously utilize this money to pay for your property. So as you can see, Georgia is a very crypto-friendly country, and you can even buy real estate with the cryptocurrencies. The oldest available method in the world for payment of the property is cash. Georgia is still a cash-friendly country. So you can bring your euros or dollars or Polish zloty. You can come to Georgia, exchange them to Georgian lari, and pay in cash for the property. Most of the banks and the developers accept it, assuming it's a property which is not worth hundreds of thousands of euros. And in all the above payment options which I mentioned, so buying for crypto, taking a mortgage, using the installments, you can transfer the ownership of the property on your name. So there is nothing strange behind all of these options. Now I would like to discuss the process of purchasing of real estate. What's the process and what are the documents required? So let's start with the documents required. If you are the individual, you need only your passport. So you don't need any other documents. You don't need utility bills, CVs, financial statements, proof of funds whatsoever. Just your passport is enough. If you are purchasing the property as a company, then we just need the basic registration and then corporate documents of the company. And of course, our company is happy to help any investor in purchasing the real estate. We can advise you where to purchase, what to purchase. We can advise you on the financing options, and we can of course assist you with the transferring of the ownership of the property, and most likely we can also help you with the management of the property. So feel free to contact us if you need any help. Let's continue with the process of the purchasing of the real estate. So if you decide to come to Batumi, you can choose the relevant real estate. We can help you with that. So once you choose your property, and depending on the option of the financing, you should sign the sales purchase agreement with the developer or with the owner. And then you should register this agreement in the public service hall in order to transfer the ownership of the property on your name. And as you can imagine, in most of the countries, it's a very complicated and long and bureaucratic process. In Georgia, there is this amazing place called Public Service Hall, and you can transfer the ownership of the property in literally the same day. There are different options depending on how much you pay for the transfer. So you can transfer the property in the same day, within 1 working day, or in 4 to 10 days. You can choose a different option. You can pay a legal fee to the government to speed up the process. And as I mentioned before, there is no compliance whatsoever, and there are no additional documents needed to verify the person who is buying the property, which makes the whole process great and amazing. And what I would like to mention as well is that with our help, it's possible to purchase the real estate remotely. So we can show you the different offers from the developers. We can show you videos, photos of the properties. We can assist you with the remote purchase of the property, so you don't have to come to Georgia. Obviously, we're inviting you to come to Georgia, and especially to Batumi, because the city and the country is amazing. Amazing food, great people, hospitality, amazing wine, amazing opportunities for investments and doing business. But if you don't, or if you cannot come to Georgia, we can help you with the purchasing remotely. What's important to mention is that in Georgia, there are residency by investment programs, like in Cyprus or in the other countries. So long story short, you can buy a property, and because you bought the property, you obtain the legal residency. This is not the residency for tax purposes, and we'll be explaining what's the difference in the other videos, but you can get a legal/immigration residency, which is kind of a visa to stay in the country, especially if you are from non-EU. So there are a couple of options. The option number 1 is purchasing the real estate worth more than $100,000. With this option, you have a temporary residency for 1 year. And this 100,000 is actually a value of the property, not the purchase price. So what's important to be considered is that you need to pay attention of how much the property is worth, not how much you pay for the property. You might buy a property which might be a bargain for $60,000, which will be worth 120. You might buy an overpriced development which will cost you, let's say, $130,000, but the value might be 90. So when you consider the option of having the residency by investment in the real estate, just remember that this $100,000 is actually the value, not the purchase price. Another thing, how to purchase the real estate. We are getting this question very often. Should I buy it on my name? Should I register a company in Georgia? Should I buy it on my foreign company name? The answer is simple. Everything is possible. Obviously, the easiest way to buy the real estate in Georgia is through a physical person, because this requires the list of the documents. So if you're in Georgia, you just need your passport and you transfer the ownership of the property immediately. If you're abroad and you don't want to come to Georgia, you send us power of attorney, which should be notarized and apostilled. You send us apostilled copy of your passport, and we can handle the process on your behalf. If you are purchasing the property as a Georgian company, then the situation is obviously a little bit different, but I will explain in a different video how to register the company. If you decide to purchase the property on the Georgian company's name, is also very straightforward. In this case, as you might expect, the power of the company is governed by the board of directors, which means that the director of the company can sign your purchase agreement and he can process the transfer of the property at the public service hall. Another option is having an attorney, so your Georgian company can issue power of attorney to somebody else, for example to us, and we can handle the registration process of the property on behalf of the company. A third option could be buying real estate on the foreign company. This is a much more complicated process rather than purchasing the property individually or by the Georgian company, but it can be done. In this case, usually what's required is the apostilled set of the corporate set of the documents, registration certificates, director certificate, shareholder certificate, extract, etc. And usually the public service hall requires a resolution which where the company approves purchase of the relevant property, and in majority of the cases we also need the KYC of the directors and shareholders, which should be also apostilled. And if the representative of the company, of the foreign company, is not in Georgia, obviously the company should issue power of attorney to somebody based in Georgia to assist him with the process. Just for information, we have recently opened the office in Batumi. It's our second office, as we have started in 2018 in Tbilisi. We are now recording this video in 2022. So know that from 2022 we have an office in Batumi, so we can assist you with everything related to real estate in Batumi and in Georgia. What's important to mention is that our office is literally 20 meters or 30 meters from the public service hall and about 100 meters from the tax office. So when you come to our office, within an hour we can register the property on your name, prepare the agreements and handle all the bureaucracy for you. And our employees speak fluent English, Russian, Polish, Ukrainian, German and other languages. So feel free to visit Georgia, feel free to visit Batumi. It's a great place for investment, great place to live and a great place to visit as a tourist. You're probably wondering how the public service hall, which is the place where you register the properties, look like. In most of the countries it's an ugly government building that looks very bad, and when you see it you expect that this process will be taking ages. So have a look at the video. Guys, welcome one more time to Batumi. We have discussed different opportunities in terms of investing in real estate. We have shown you a couple of different property projects, starting from the luxury segment, going to lower price properties. We have been discussing the prices, we have been discussing the return on investment, the occupancy rates, and a bunch of other stuff that you need to know when you purchase a real estate. Now I want to show you a magical place which is just behind me, over there, this beautiful building with the tower on the top. This place is a public service hall, and over there you can register your property, transfer the ownership, register a mortgage and proceed with any formalities related to properties. So this is not the place only for registering your company or proceeding with any legal changes or with getting your passport. This place you visit also when you want to deal with anything formal related to the real estate. What's very important to mention is the efficiency about this magical place, public service hall in Batumi, Georgia. So you are wondering, most probably, how much time it takes to register a property. In other countries in Europe it can take days, weeks, months sometimes, and it's a very complicated procedure. In Georgia, it can take you even less than half an hour. So you can go to a coffee shop in public service hall and transfer the property while your coffee is still hot. So this place is super efficient, really. And not only you can register a company there, not only you can get your passport, get married, get divorced, and register your properties, everything is centralized in this authority. So it's a big plus, and it shows the changes in Georgia that happened in the past couple of years. At the moment, as you know, we are in Batumi, but public service halls are in every major city in Georgia. So you can do the same changes related to property, your marriage, your life, your company, etc. in every major city in Georgia. And it's also same efficient as in Batumi. And the biggest public service hall, which is also an iconic, amazing building, is based in Tbilisi. So guys, if you decide to purchase a real estate, we are here to help you. Public service hall is here to do it in less than half an hour. And our office is just over there behind public service hall. So when you visit us, we can do everything in literally less than 1 hour. Check our website, check our social media, because we'll be updating you with the new videos and new content related to real estate, Georgia, and all the useful information related to taxation.